First, let's look at raw numbers. When Jungkook debuted as part of BTS in 2013, HYBE, then Big Hit Entertainment, was a relatively minor player in the South Korean entertainment field. Within a decade, BTS transformed not only the company, but also the economic standing of K-pop itself. At the center of this transformation was Jungkook, who quickly became one of the group's most marketable figures, both domestically and internationally. From music streams to merchandise, advertising contracts, and endorsements, Jungkook's impact on revenue consistently ranks at the top. Now, HYBE is not merely holding on to Jungkook out of nostalgia or loyalty, it is about business sustainability. Investors and shareholders track artist performance, and in Jungkook's case, the metrics are extraordinary. When he launched his solo projects, such as Seven and Standing Next to You, both releases not only dominated global charts, but also demonstrated something even more valuable: independent selling power outside the BTS brand. This is crucial. Many idol group members struggle to maintain relevance when they pursue solo ventures, but Jungkook has proven that his brand value operates at a global pop star level, often rivaling Western contemporaries in terms of streaming and sales. For HYBE, this is a golden situation. In an industry where artists come and go, having one figure who can reliably command global attention, generate sales across multiple platforms, and enhance the company's brand image is practically irreplaceable. Jungkook is not just an artist, he is a stable financial instrument. Analysts have repeatedly pointed out that HYBE's stock valuation often reacts directly to BTS-related announcements. Within that, Jungkook's solo career provides a unique cushion during the group's military enlistment hiatus, ensuring HYBE's financial ecosystem remains strong even when collective activities are paused. Another overlooked element is how Jungkook impacts HYBE's partnerships with external brands. When Calvin Klein announced Jungkook as its global ambassador, the campaign generated record-breaking engagement numbers, pushing HYBE's profile into the global fashion and luxury markets. These moves extend beyond music and position HYBE in the lifestyle and consumer sectors. In short, Jungkook provides cross-industry credibility. Fashion houses, beverage companies, and even sports brands see value in partnering with HYBE precisely because they have exclusive access to Jungkook through the company's management structure. From a financial angle, letting go of Jungkook would be close to corporate malpractice. It would mean losing an artist whose individual pull matches or exceeds entire groups. This is not just a matter of losing revenue, it's about destabilizing investor confidence. Shareholders want stability. And in HYBE's world, stability is spelled Jungkook. Beyond the direct financial implications, there's also the issue of cultural capital. HYBE knows that Jungkook carries immense influence in shaping not only music trends, but also broader cultural conversations. From his tattoos to his fashion choices, every detail sparks discourse across global media platforms. This consistent relevance ensures that HYBE's artists remain embedded in public consciousness, which is invaluable in the hyper-competitive entertainment industry. In summary, HYBE's refusal to let go of Jungkook is fundamentally rooted in economics and brand stability. He is the company's most reliable global revenue engine, bridging music, fashion, and international cultural relevance. The shocking reality is that HYBE doesn't just manage Jungkook as an artist, it relies on him as one of the primary pillars of its corporate survival strategy. While financial strength is one obvious reason, there's another layer to HYBE's attachment to Jungkook: his unreplicable global positioning. In business terms, Jungkook represents what analysts would call a category of one. There is no direct equivalent in HYBE's roster or in K-pop at large that combines his particular mix of global appeal, cross-generational fan loyalty, and cultural crossover ability. Most idols and even global pop stars operate within predictable boundaries of influence. They are strong in certain regions, popular within niche demographics, or dominant in one industry sector, music, fashion, or endorsements. Jungkook, however, collapses those boundaries. His fanbase spans across Asia, North America, South America, Europe, and the Middle East. His digital footprint demonstrates consistent activity across Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, making him not just a singer, but also one of the internet's most followed individuals. This is where HYBE's strategic thinking becomes clear. Replicating Jungkook's success is almost impossible, because it's not just about vocal skill or choreography, it's about timing, global fandom infrastructure, and personality appeal that can resonate universally. For example, when Seven was released, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. This achievement wasn't merely about the song itself, but about how Jungkook managed to activate a worldwide audience simultaneously, something only a handful of artists like Taylor Swift or Drake consistently achieve. In the context of HYBE, losing Jungkook would mean losing its only artist who can operate at that level of cultural ubiquity. Other artists under the HYBE umbrella are talented and successful, but none carry the same balance of mainstream Western recognition and deep-rooted K-pop fan loyalty. That dual market dominance is what makes Jungkook irreplaceable. Additionally, HYBE has heavily invested in infrastructure to amplify Jungkook's reach. From global streaming strategies to collaborations with Western producers, the company has built a machine around his image. Walking away from Jungkook would not only waste years of investment, but also hand over an already built global icon to potential competitors. Imagine if Jungkook signed with another label. HYBE would essentially be gifting its competitor a once-in-a-generation asset. That's why the company keeps him under tight management and ensures his global projects are always aligned with HYBE's broader corporate vision. The shock here is not just that HYBE doesn't want to let go, it's that they can't. The market would not forgive them. Fans would revolt, investors would question leadership, and competitors would rush to capitalize on Jungkook's brand power. In simple terms, Jungkook is the crown jewel of HYBE's artist portfolio, and no replacement exists. Finally, the third reason goes beyond money and present-day relevance. Jungkook represents HYBE's long-term strategy. In the next decade, the music industry will continue to shift toward digital-first models, with heavy emphasis on immersive fan engagement, global branding, and crossover into non-music sectors like gaming, virtual concerts, and AI-driven fan experiences. HYBE already positions itself as more than a music label. Its acquisitions of platforms like Weverse, its investment in AI, and its ventures into gaming demonstrate a strategy to evolve into a multimedia conglomerate. For these moves to succeed, HYBE needs flagship figures who can attract and sustain global attention. Jungkook is that figure. Consider the future of live entertainment. Virtual concerts are expected to dominate international markets, especially as technology like VR and AR become mainstream. An artist like Jungkook, who has both the vocal stability and stage charisma to carry performances, will be central to ensuring HYBE's dominance in these new formats. Fans are not just buying music anymore, they're investing in immersive experiences. Jungkook provides the perfect anchor for that kind of innovation. Additionally, Jungkook serves as HYBE's strongest bridge between East and West. He embodies the globalized artist who can perform in Korean, English, and adapt across cultural boundaries without alienating either side of his audience. This is critical as HYBE seeks to solidify its influence in the US market, the largest music market in the world. Without Jungkook, HYBE's expansion strategy into Western media would face significant challenges. Furthermore, Jungkook's age positions him as a long-term asset. At just 27, as of 2025, he still has potentially 2 decades of active performance and brand building ahead. Unlike legacy Western acts that often peak in their early 30s, K-pop idols are increasingly sustaining careers well into their 40s, especially when they have diversified portfolios. Jungkook's blend of music, fashion, and cultural influence ensures that HYBE can rely on him as a future-proof figure. The shocking truth is that HYBE's dependence on Jungkook is not temporary, it's foundational. He is built into their future roadmap, whether it's AI-powered fan interactions, fashion ventures, or gaming collaborations. Jungkook's name will be the entry point for millions of global fans. Losing him would mean losing the company's clearest path to long-term global relevance. When a company like HYBE talks about global expansion, it isn't only talking about sales, streams, or concerts. The larger goal is cultural influence, the ability to shape conversations, trends, and public perception on a scale that transcends music. In this landscape, Jungkook functions as a cultural lever that HYBE cannot afford to release. His impact stretches beyond what can be measured on financial statements. It embeds HYBE into the very center of worldwide cultural dialogue. Let's begin with something very simple: visibility. Every movement, style, choice, or appearance Jungkook makes tends to dominate online platforms. Whether it's an airport arrival, a social media live stream, or a single photo released through a brand partnership, these moments generate global attention. Media outlets from K-pop dedicated blogs to mainstream US publications like Billboard or Rolling Stone treat Jungkook's actions as newsworthy events. That constant visibility ensures HYBE's name is always tethered to the broader cultural conversation. But what's even more valuable than visibility is trend-setting power. Jungkook's influence has proven time and again to spark shifts in consumer behavior. For instance, when he wore a specific brand or style, whether it was a jacket, perfume, or sneakers, those items often sold out within hours. Fashion insiders have referred to this as the Jungkook effect. For HYBE, this is cultural influence turned into measurable consumer demand. It proves that he isn't just a performer, but a tastemaker, capable of shifting global markets with casual choices. This effect spills over into music as well. Western pop artists, producers, and executives have acknowledged Jungkook's ability to bridge genres in ways that resonate internationally. His work has moved seamlessly from R&B-inspired tracks to EDM collaborations and mainstream pop hits. That flexibility reinforces HYBE's branding as an innovative, boundary-crossing company. Every genre Jungkook touches is elevated into cultural discussion, bringing HYBE along with it. Now, here's where it gets even more strategic. Jungkook provides HYBE with something other artists rarely sustain: credibility in both mainstream and fan-driven spaces. In many cases, companies face a tension between cultivating fan loyalty and gaining mainstream recognition. Too much focus on one often weakens the other. Jungkook, however, sits at the intersection. He is respected by general audiences who don't identify as hardcore K-pop fans, yet he also maintains deep loyalty among ARMY, BTS's core fanbase. This dual credibility is nearly impossible to replicate, and HYBE knows it. Let's also consider the international diplomacy aspect of culture. Jungkook has become a recognizable figure across countries that don't typically share strong cultural exports. From the Middle East to Latin America, his influence brings Korean entertainment into places where Western pop stars used to dominate almost exclusively. This cultural reach benefits HYBE in a way no press release or advertisement could achieve it, positions the company as a central node in the globalization of pop culture. The shocking reality is that Jungkook isn't just valuable for what he does today, but for what he represents in the cultural hierarchy. He is a figure who can normalize K-pop as a permanent fixture in global culture, not a passing trend. HYBE's future depends on that perception. If K-pop is seen as temporary, HYBE's growth is capped. If it is seen as permanent, HYBE becomes a cultural powerhouse alongside Hollywood and Western labels. Jungkook is one of the few artists capable of making the latter a reality. Cultural influence also works across generations. Teenagers see him as a relatable figure. Young adults admire his artistry and global success, while older audiences often perceive him as a symbol of Korea's cultural rise on the international stage. This cross-generational relevance is rare. Many artists are tied to a specific age demographic, but Jungkook's influence flows across different groups, broadening HYBE's cultural footprint. Finally, there's the issue of legacy building. Entertainment companies often struggle when the peak of an artist's fame passes. With Jungkook, HYBE is not just managing a performer, it's cultivating a cultural icon. Icons don't fade with trends, they solidify into permanent cultural memory. Think of how names like Michael Jackson, Madonna, or Beyoncé are embedded into the cultural lexicon. HYBE clearly sees Jungkook in that mold. Not a seasonal success, but a long-term cultural anchor. This is why HYBE never lets go. Jungkook is the company's cultural currency. He ensures HYBE is not just profitable, but relevant in conversations that stretch beyond music into fashion, lifestyle, generational identity, and global cultural positioning. Losing him would mean losing HYBE's place at the table of global culture, and that's something the company simply cannot afford.